That was close. Alright, phased. Damage is okay. I won't pretend the damage is like really high, but it's like good enough. Acceptable, basically. I sort of fucked up at the very start of the fight. I forgot we were using Orb of Storms instead of Stormbrand for proccing the Conduit. So far, let's drop this little shit in the corner. Another one in the corner. That was a mistake. Slaps. Drop Vol Molten Shell there. Drop the ball here. Alright, so I'll kill Shaper first and then tell you guys come in for the Void Stone. Here. Oh, slaps. Ooh, that was close. Alright, come in, guys. Shaper's dead. Not bad, deathless. Alright, I'll show you guys the map clear. Since I picked up an Impulsus recently, this really makes your clear much better. As you can see the shock explosions. So it does work with the Conduit. We don't have too much area scaling, so it's not the best Impulsus build, but it definitely helps with the clear. You can see the shock explosions here. Mostly if we do right here, harvest, you'll definitely see it here. You can show off right here. Drop a couple Stormbrands, press the Wrath for the Divine Blessing. You can see that really pays off right here for content like this, where everything's stacked up. Storm Herald, a little tanky. I'll show you a boss. So yeah, it really pays off for tight packs like this. Really packed content. I would suggest to get Impulsus if you want to do a lot of mapping with the build, for sure. Just because it's so good. As you can see, my life got a little bit low there. We do need to up the tank a little bit. That's why I was trying to get glancing blows with Tempest shields for spell block, and then life gain on hit shield eventually, which I currently don't have. So once you get to the boss, you drop the Vol hold snap for frenzies. I do the divine blessing, and then we can just hit with a stormbrand, right? Let's go over my gear and gem links for my current lightning conduit character. So the only expensive item really that we have right now is the wand. I bought a +1 fractured allspell gems wand. Then we used a T1 deafening cast speed essence. We spammed that until I hit the flat lightning. I could have hit spell damage and +1 lightning. If I hit any of that, that'd be fine also. And then I just multi-modded the spell damage and a trigger on top. So this is about 7x. It cost me to craft this or so. Between just buying the base and crafting it, it was 7 divines, I mean. Alright, the ring is just a random resist and life ring. Actually, I got this in white map sometime. I think I just dropped this, honestly. The other ring is same thing. It's just like life resist. It's not really anything. My amulet, I spammed, I believe, some dex essences because I need some dex for the grace that we are using for the build. And then I just got a very high stat amulet that has crafted life and some resist. We also anointed melding. That's what gives me a large percentage of my ES. Melding gives, right here, we can see, melding gives 3% of my life as extra ES. So that's a large percent of the ES that we're using for EB. Alright. The helmet was just some random crap also. It's just a little bit of suppression, mostly high life and resist. We had open prefix, so I did +1 AoE gems, and I slotted all my auras in here for a +1 level. The shield, I actually found this one in Axe. I actually have to upgrade this pretty badly. This one we found, I think, in the Act like 8. Honestly, it's just some resist, a little spell damage, some life. As far as the gloves go, the most important mod here is the exposure on hit implicit. That really makes the build a lot smoother since you don't need a hydrosphere or anything like that, like wave of conviction to do the exposure. So that's a nice quality of life and just makes the build a lot smoother. We also have increased damage with hits against chilled enemies, which is always on because we're elementalists. And for my belt, we just have a very high resist belt. I just scoured a Stygian, added the resist callus, and then I spammed some chaos essences, probably, I think, is how I made this, until I got something decent. The jewel in here is just life. Just some stats, actually. I probably need a better one. Some cast speed, I guess, when we crit. But yeah, nothing special there. And for the boots, in particular, I got the Scorched Ground mod. That one gives a -18 against bosses, so that's a nice way to lower the resistance a little bit more for more damage. I crafted these boots myself. I think I just spammed some life or fire essences. Got some decent rolls. I think I got suppression, life, fire resist, and then I did the Aisling to get the movement speed onto it. And we had to open prefix, so it cannot be frozen there to take care of our freeze immunity. And for the chest, this is what I was using during the Uber Elder fight. It was just a big life, some resist chest. It's like pretty generic. I bought this on like day 1 or day 2. Day 2, I think. It's just a very generic evasion energy shield chest just because it's easy to color. So we upgraded recently to the impulsas. The impulsas gives much better clear, so that's why we changed into this. So that's my current gear setup. Okay, let's go over the gems really quick then. As far as gems go, we have vitality in here, conductivity, and we have a Vol Cold Snap in here. So the Vol Cold Snap is for generating frenzy charges when we fight a boss. Also, Cold Snap just slows down the enemy, obviously, and gives us frenzy generation. And the trigger. Conductivity, we're triggering this. The vitality is just like I had some extra mana reservation, so I put this in. So for my helmet, like I said, I put the auras in here. We have determination, grace, a shield charge, and faster attacks in here for our movement skill. In my shield, we have molten shell with cast 1 damage taken. Standard setup. Flame dash to get over barriers that shield charge can't get over. And then for the links for the chest, we have anomalous cruelty. I think I want to switch out to empower +3 in the end game, but this is just like something that I could fit in right now. There's not that many good gems for the 6th link, but eventually I want empower in here. So this just gives 24% more damage. We bought the anomalous quality just for a little bit more crit chance to keep up the EO uptime. We had awakened elemental focus, awakened added lightning, awakened add pen, lightning conduit. I still need to roll a 2120 version because that's the pretty good. The quality gives 20% more damage, and obviously you want the +1 level. Hypothermia is my last link. Since we always chill, we always get to 29% more damage. For the Uber Elder kill, I actually did not have any of these awakened gems yet. I think the only one we had was Lightning Pen. We bought this after the kill, so you don't actually need that many awakened gems, and this one should be quite cheap. So for my gloves, we are putting Stormbrand, Unbound Ailments, Overcharge support, and Chain support currently. When I was fighting Uber Elder, you saw I was using Orb of Storms. That's because I didn't have the quality for cast speed here, because my Lightning Conduit was casting too fast and it was missing cast. That's why we use Orb of Storms, because every single cast when you do Orb of Storms guarantees a shock. But I also switch out to onslaught at this point for bossing. We switch out the chain for onslaught when we're bossing, but for my clear, I'm using Stormbrand at this point, just because it's better range than Orb of Storms. And then for my boots, we have a Wrath, Diversion Inspiration, and Divine Blessing set up for the extra aura. And we have Define Spanner as my last link. Alright, I forgot about to mention the flask for the build. We just have a generic bleed flask right here for healing. We have Granite Flask, we have Quicksilver, Quartz for phasing, and Jade. You can drop the Quartz for bossing. You can probably put in a Azeri's flask for some damage if you want more damage. But honestly, the last flask is just like open to anything, whatever you want. Because there's not really anything that stands out to me that's like really good. Alright, so let's go over the passive tree really quick then. So for the passive tree, my ascendancy, I first started with we went to Shaper Storms first, so guaranteed shock, more damage early on. I went to guaranteed chill right here next, just for some quality life for our tankiness, because the 40% chills makes us quite tanky at times. Like, it's an important part of our defense, right? So next we got Master of Discord for more exposure, and then finally Heart Destruction for more damage against bosses. Alright, the tree. So originally I went up here, like through here, as a standard cast speed. But at this point, these nodes aren't really very good. So we went to left here, got all the life, we grabbed the Lightning Walker, went up here. Let's do the right side first. So we went right here through the life. Over here, we grabbed the Lightning Pen for bossing, grabbed the Jewel. Over here, we grabbed this ailment effect right here with the Mastery for plus 15% max shock. We again went EB. EB solves our mana problem. We have Aura Node over here. I feel like we're gonna drop this in the future, but right now it's fine. But yeah, the Aura Nodes down here. We went down here. We're grabbing suppression nodes because you really need these to max out 100% suppression now, especially if you use the unique or anything like that. You just need the suppression node to help hit 100%. I think if we're using impulses for quite a while to hit 100% suppression, I have to get this node right here for 8% suppression, and also probably anoint Inveterate for 15% suppression to hit the cap. So we grab the Life ES hybrid here. We grab Leaf Shade. Leaf Shade is nice for damage over time, which is one of the ways we die, because we don't have the best recovery. So that's quite nice. For a bit of defense, we went down here, got all the life nodes. We got elemental focus from our ailment effect. And finally, we got the coordination for some cast speed and some stats. Alright, so left side tree right here, we grabbed this lightning cluster here. for just some cast speed and some damage. And then since we are EO build, we're using mastery for non-critical strikes that are lucky. We went up here to grab the cluster jewel. So this cluster jewel is pretty expensive. You don't actually need this. You just need Doriani's lesson. This is the most important one because this gives you life leech. Otherwise, this build doesn't have life leech, and that's a huge amount of life recovery. Because otherwise, you mostly have a little bit of regen and then a flash recovery. This really helps out a lot with sustain. And then we have Storm Drinker for Lightning Pen, and some ES Leech for the shield. ES Leech for the EB. Yep. So as far as my jewels go, we can go over the jewels really quick. They're just mostly generic life, mana cost reduction. You have crit chance here, but you probably want cast speed. A lot of cast speed, whatever you can get. I got lightning cast speed right here, spell damage. But life, mana reduction are the main two mods you want. The rest you can get whatever. So cast speed with lightning skills and spell damage is what we opted for. Went down here, we grabbed the life here, we grabbed this mana reservation node. Went down here for elemental mastery, 40% increase effect in non-damaging elements, strong again. Same thing with this jewel, like I said, just mana reduction, life, some cast speed. I went through this life wheel here, we went down here to grab glancing blows, grab the tireless and all the cost reduction here from this life and cost reduction hybrid node. Went through here, Holy Domination, grab some life here, grab Retribution for more cast speed and some stats. And that is my build currently. There's a couple of things I want to get. I think eventually we want to go down here and then we want to grab Tempest Shield and then try to go get life gain on Block Shield. Eventually is the plan. But I still have to craft that stuff. Yeah, this is the tree. It's pretty good. Feels pretty comfy at this point. We have decent life, 6.6k. The EB takes care of all our mana needs. And yeah, that's it. If you got any questions, you can message me.